said it for decoration.
Your problem is you have a vendetta against Tommy Robinson because the last time he was on your show, he gave you a shellacking and you've never forgiven him for it.
No, he didn't. I would be careful.
I'm repeating what the witnesses said. I'm repeating what the witnesses said.
You are...
The Israelis pay people in the UK and the US to spread hatred towards Muslims. Hey, bigot!
You shut up.
Shut up.
You shut up.
Shut your mouth.
What you gonna do?
Okay?
What you gonna do?
Welcome back everyone. Today we're looking at another clip from the Piers Morgan Uncensored show after the United Kingdom rally in London, where Piers is still doing his best to try to dismiss the reach of the United Kingdom and Unite the West movement because of a personal vendetta that he has against Tommy Robinson, which we're gonna talk more about later on, so stay tuned. But first, we're gonna have a look at a clip of Piers immediately throwing a red herring, trying to distract away from the topic at hand and trying to make it all about himself. Let's have a look.
Well, joining me now are Cenk, the founder and CEO of the Young Turks and a prominent critic of online Islamophobia, Don Keith, host of the Real Beef podcast, who was barred from entering the UK to attend the rally, Ava Santina, political editor at Politics Joe, and Sintish, better known as Based and Bougie, who attended the United Kingdom rally and called me out on stage. And we'll get to that in a moment. In fact, let's get to that off the start, because it was brought to my attention. Welcome to Uncensored, Sintish.
Thank you so
much. Do I call you Sintish or Based and Bougie?
Sintish or Based.
Or Bougie?
Based, Bougie, Sintish, whatever.
Any one of the three?
Yeah.
What's your actual name?
Sintish.
That's your name you were born with?
Yeah, that's my name, Sintish, yeah.
But Based and Bougie is your...
It's just the name that I use for my account, yeah.
Got it. So you talked about me during this event. Let's have a look.
You're seeing people in solitary confinement for a difference of opinion, and now you're seeing people like the likes of Piers Morgan calling us the same old, boring, far-right for being patriotic. Well, I have a question for Piers Morgan. If this is a far-right racist extremist event, then what the am I doing here? The establishment, Piers Morgan, Keir Starmer need to learn that us patriots are this country's last hope. And rather than waking up to this fact, they would rather sit there and police when and where the English people wear the English flag. Let me make something very clear. If seeing the Union Jack makes you cross, respectfully, pack your bags and get lost. Support the country you live in or go live in the country you support.
Sintish, obviously I fully respect your right to free speech. What is the Union Jack, do you think?
For me, the Union Jack is a sign of first and foremost.
What is it? Well, whose flag is the Union Jack?
The British flag. The British flag.
You said English flag there.
The English, no. The Union Jack is the British flag.
Why did you say English flag?
Obviously, when you're under pressure, you end up saying things, but it is the British
You don't
flag.
think England is United Kingdom?
No, I'm just saying that it's
The Union
British
Jack
flag.
obviously represents...
I know the difference between the two, but what are we discussing here
What is the
today
English flag, do you know?
is this flag with the red cross.
Right, but that wasn't the one behind you, and that wasn't the one you were talking about.
Okay, congratulations, you caught me here.
Well, no, I'm not trying to play gotcha. I'm just saying if you're going to start...
When you're under pressure, you end up saying things.
Okay, if you're going to start haranguing
Especially when
me
there's millions of people,
Listen,
you get a little bit nervous.
Yeah, but Sintish,
millions of people.
If you're going to start haranguing people like me for not understanding what it means to be English, it would help if you understood what the English flag actually is.
Oh, you caught me.
Do you want to apologise?
No, I'm not going to apologise because I was under pressure. It was a crowd full of millions of people, even though you tried to downplay
Millions
it.
of people.
Yes,
50,000 people were there, the police said.
The police said there was 1.2 million.
No, the police said 50,000.
Okay, even if it was 1.2...
Why are you lying about the number of people
there? Why would I
there?
lie? That's what I saw.
The police confirmed there were 50,000 people.
Okay, but Piers, why
are they all lying?
Okay, but Piers,
did you have millions hiding somewhere I didn't see?
Of all the issues they was talking about, whether it's women being raped,
just said
whether it's
1.2
two-tier
million
policing,
people were there.
whether it's all the issues they were talking about, women being groomed, the only thing you're obsessed about is the numbers. Are you being serious?
Piers saying that he's not trying to play gotcha while actively trying to get a gotcha moment with this whole UK English flag bit that he's doing is so ironic. It's completely transparent as well. Everyone can see through it. Everyone knows what you're doing. You're not fooling anybody with this. The discussion about the numbers in the rally, I think is a more justified one. To me, both sides have a lot of reason to lie about the numbers. Obviously, the police and the establishment are going to try to lie and try to make the movement seem as small as possible, as fringe as possible, while the supporters are going to inflate the numbers and trying to make the rally seem as large as possible. Both sides should be taken with a grain of salt. I've seen independent analysis put the number between 60 to 80,000, and I think that's reasonable, although I've seen others that put it up to 100,000.
You know what I saw? And talking of the treatment of women, Cintish, you know one of the clips that I saw that was doing the rounds from the rally?
Show me.
It was where some women were looking down from a rooftop down at the rally. And a lot of the people marching in the rally, men, chanted, "Get your tits out for the lads," and thought that was hilarious. How does that square, do you think, with protecting women?
Well, I obviously think that's absolutely disgusting. And if Tommy Robinson or all of the organisers were to see that, they would be absolutely disgusting. But you bringing that up, what's the point? Because there's so many people under your comment section who may look at me and they may call me the N-word or the B-word. Is that a reflection of you, may I ask?
There are people calling you the N-word on my comment section.
There may be people.
Where? Have you just made that up?
I said there may.
You haven't even appeared on my show.
I said there may be, and they do it with other guests as well.
You haven't even appeared on my show.
Okay, well, they may do it with other guests as well. They may insult other of your guests. What I'm saying is,
do you actually know? Have you actually looked at the comment section?
Yes, I have.
Well, who are you talking about?
Can you let me finish my sentence? What am I here for if you're not letting me finish my sentence?
I think you're just making stuff up.
What I'm trying to say is, when you go on your comment section, of course, people say negative things. Is that a reflection of you?
Have you ever seen anyone be called the N-word on my comment section?
What I'm saying is, people say negative things.
You just said that happens.
People
when?
say negative things.
Have you seen it?
Let's put the N-word aside. People say negative things. Is that a reflection of you?
So far we've moved from.
Is that a reflection of you?
So far we've established.
You didn't answer my question.
I don't know who you. Until you came today, I had no idea who you are. Right?
Okay.
And I'm very.
Oh my God, man! What a prick! I don't even know who you are, so your opinion doesn't mean anything. Definitely not sounding like an elite now, Piers. Well done.
Happy to have you here. I absolutely respect your right to be on this march.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I respect the right of everyone to protest peacefully. And actually, both marches went off relatively peacefully with a small handful of arrests. I commend the police for excellent work, and I commend the marchers for not being violent. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Shouldn't have to come to that, but I do. But so far, you've only been on the show 3 minutes, and so far we've established that you got the flag wrong.
Okay.
Right, when you were lecturing me about what it takes to be English.
Under pressure with
you
millions
said there were
of people.
1.2 million people when the police said there were 50,000.
Who cares?
Right, and then you start accusing us of having black people accused of being the N-word on my comment section, and then admit you've never actually seen that.
I will find it and I will post it. But what I'm trying to say is a reflection of you.
No disrespect to you.
Is the negative comments a reflection of you? The same way people are asking those
you don't even know
ladies,
what comments you're talking about.
I have seen the comments. They've said nasty things.
Give me one.
About Andrew Tate, about Candace Owens. They will call Candace Owens, a Jew hater. They will call Andrew Tate misogynistic. Is that a reflection of you?
What's your point?
Don't point that at Tommy. That my point is, just because negative things happen at an event filled with millions, don't now point that at Tommy. And this is what I mean. You've come here to nitpick at the most silliest things, even though we were talking about very important things, like women who have been groomed, like men who have been stabbed by Islamists. And then you come here to talk to me about flipping 50,000 people. And when I said the English flag and British flag, this is absolutely irrelevant to the whole point of the event. So what are we actually talking about today, Piers? Can we talk about something important rather than nitpicking on the number of people?
So based, bro. Oh my God. And the answer to that, by the way, is no. We can't talk about anything important. We're actually only gonna be nitpicking unimportant, stupid shit, by the way. So get ready. And the point that she's making is totally valid, by the way. And Piers knows that. That's why he's not going to address it. He knows that the actions of a few individuals do not reflect the entire rally, just like a few comments do not reflect the entire community, and much less the person that made the video. And if he actually believed in this, he should be talking about the pro-Palestinian rally that was happening on the same day as the United Kingdom rally, and they were chanting a literal call for violence versus a few lads calling to see some tits? Come on, man, like, what are we talking about here? You don't actually believe this. In this next clip, Piers is gonna bring in Cenk Uygur and Don Keith to comment. Cenk is a bit of a favorite of Piers because it's basically a guaranteed crash out for him. Whenever a debate might be too productive or too respectful, Piers will make sure to get Cenk in there so he can fucking ruin everything. Check out this clip and let's play a game together called How Long Does It Take Until Cenk Blames everything on Israel. Let's find out.
It's Cenk Uygur. Cenk, welcome
very
back
desperate
to
attempt.
Uncensored. I mean, you've got a guy there on stage with bacon on his shoulder who says his mission is to inflict maximum damage on Islam. And there was constant anti-Islam, anti-Muslim rhetoric during this rally. And if you look at Tommy Robinson's social media feed, it is a relentless attack specifically against Islam and Muslims. He pretends he's not anti-Muslim, but he constantly attacks
Not Muslims,
the religion
Islam.
of Islam. So what's your view of this, Cenk?
It's not Muslims, it's just Islam.
Yeah. So look, I view it in two different ways. And I grew up Muslim, but I'm atheist now. So, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to speak effectively enough for Muslims. But like the bacon on the shoulder and the burqa skit, I don't care about it all. Oh, wow, you showed a piece of bacon. It's not like Muslims don't know bacon exists. So I'm not offended by that at all. On the other hand, when they start talking about kicking out Muslims from parliament, why? Why should Muslims not serve in parliament? Well, that's obviously and directly racist and bigoted. And to me, the biggest problems, Piers, are the hypocrisy. You're right. Of course, if they said 1% of this about Jews, they'd probably literally be imprisoned in Britain. And it shows you the disparity in power that the two different groups have. And most importantly, a lot of this hatred toward Muslims are driven by Israeli propaganda. They want the British and the Americans to hate Muslims so that they'll finance the wars against Israel's Muslim neighbors. So those are massive problems. And we've got to root out the people that are in our government and our media that serve foreign countries like Israel and purposely spread bigotry and hatred. Silly skits about bacon I could care less about. And by the way, if we have the same rules, they're allowed to offend Muslims, but we're also allowed to offend Israel, great. But I'm coming to London in a couple of weeks, as you know, Piers, and I intend to greatly offend Israel. I don't know if I'll be arrested over there. They have some absurd laws in England. My nephew, Hassan Piker, is coming with me, and he might be arrested because some pro-Israel people think that they can say anything they want about Muslims, but the minute you touch Israel, not even Judaism, they think you should be arrested. Obviously, that kind of double standard is unacceptable and is the refuge of cowards.
Okay, let's bring in Don Keith. Welcome to Uncensored. You were
Thank you for having me.
You were banned from attending the Tommy Robinson March. Were you given any specific reason why?
I was not given any reason. The notice I got said that the government doesn't have to give you a reason. They don't always give you a reason. I was shocked by it because really, I guess my only crime is being associated with Tommy Robinson and speaking out against things like Islam.
Yeah, I mean, can you think of anything that you have done or said which would warrant you being denied access to the United Kingdom?
I've never committed a crime in my life. I've never incited violence. I've been to the UK. I've attended every one of these UTK rallies in the past. I think from the time it started 2 years ago, there's been 5 or 6. I've attended every single one. I've marched in every single one. I've never called for violence. So yeah, I'm just baffled as to why I would be banned from a country just for expressing an opinion. Or being associated with Tommy Robinson.
Would you categorize yourself as far right?
Absolutely not. What is far right? Who gets to define what far right? To me, the only thing that's far right apparently is if you disagree with any of Labor's policies or any left-wing policies, that makes you far right. The deciders of what's far right and what's hate speech and things like that are the people in power. That's why Britain is in such dire straits right now with their speech, because they don't have a constitution set in stone that protects their speech rights and their free expression. All they have is a litany of different court precedents and legal precedents that establish what can or cannot be free speech, and that's dictated by the party in power, which means they can change like the wind. That's not really free speech. Britain's never really had free speech. To me, they need some sort of constitution set in stone that protects it.
Man, I mean, that was quick, even for Cenk. What was that, like a minute and a half? And by the way, this idea that the only people you can't criticize in the UK is Israel is so stupid, because they were literally stopping people from coming into the country just to speak at the UTK rally. My nephew and I might get arrested. Well, Cenk, guess what? If there's any justice in this world, your nephew is gonna be arrested for making propaganda for a communist dictatorship.
So the point I'm making is there is a weird mischaracterization, I believe, of my country. right? Which is that we're being overrun and overtaken by Muslims. Sharia courts are everywhere. They're ruling the roost and so on. None of this is actually true, right? I mean,
you've got about 85 Sharia courts.
But they have no legal standing in the
I know you were
UK.
going to say that. They do not have legal standing per se. However, if you are a young woman, no, it's not full stop. If you are a young woman in Islam, if you are a young woman, you are forced to adhere to the decisions these courts make within your religion. If not, then you will be castigated by your family and ostracized by your family. You could be even subject to things like honor killings, depending on the situation. There have been young ladies in Britain and other Western countries. You can shake your head all you want, but it's happened. A father recently tried to strangle his daughter in an honor killing in, I can't remember which Western country it was, but when these girls don't adhere to these laws or these decisions by these Sharia courts, and they could be subject to penalties within their own family. So while it may not be legal in the UK's eyes, these young girls are pressured by these courts.
Obviously, they don't have legal standing with the UK law, but if they didn't have influence over the Muslim population, then why do they exist? Are they just for show? Is it just some role-playing exercise for Muslim people to pretend like they live in the caliphate or something? What do you think this is for, Piers? The level of dishonesty here, man.
Do you believe, Don, because I know you were, when Tommy Robinson was going through some of his court issues, you were there in court in the UK. Do you believe, as Tommy Robinson likes Americans to believe, that he has been a victim of suppression of his free speech, and the only reason he's been put in prison is because of that?
I 100% believe that Tommy Robinson is a politically targeted figure, 100%, whether it be because of his free speech or to prevent him from speaking out, because we know that the Muslim electorate is very important in Britain. They can swing an election. That's why the members in Parliament and other people in the establishment, they want to silence Tommy Robinson at all costs. You look what they did for I know all about the Silence movie. He wasn't, he filmed a...
Well, the Silence movie, let's be clear. Let's be crystal clear about this. There's a reason Tommy Robinson won't come on this show. And the simple reason is he knows I would ask him about the Silenced movie and why he was in contempt of court and why he went back to prison. And it's because he tells a lot of lies in the Silenced movie that were exposed as lies. Well, hang on, let me finish. There was, as you remember, a libel action that was taken, which he lost.
Yep.
He had to pay £100,000 to a young Syrian boy who he defamed with egregious lies. He then repeated all the lies in this film he made called Silenced, which he talks about very openly when he's in America. You know where he doesn't talk about this? Here, with people like me.
I've heard him talk about it several times. I heard him talk about it on stage.
But he never gets challenged. Don, here's my point. He never gets challenged directly about all the lies he tells in Silenced. The reason he got in prison was because of the breach of contempt of court law here, which was if you repeat the lies for which you've just lost a libel action and pay damages to this family, if you do that again, you will go back to prison. That is what he did.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with free speech.
Let me interject.
What was the lies?
Okay, as far as silence, I know that you love to get on here and tell that Tommy Robinson told lies about silence. That's not the case.
He did.
Though everything told in silence was from the perspective. No. Oh yeah, one judge overrode 5 witnesses. He called
now what you're doing, you're now repeating. You're now repeating defamation.
I'm repeating what the witnesses.
I would be careful.
I'm repeating what the witnesses.
I'm repeating
what the witnesses.
You are repeating. No. I've read every word of that court case.
Those people said it for decoration.
Your problem is you have a vendetta against Tommy Robinson because the last time he was on your show, he gave you a shellacking and you've never forgiven him for it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He waved around the Quran like a silly little boy, and I held him to account for it.
Look at the clips, man.
Okay, but here's the thing. If your hero, Tommy, is so courageous and so fearless...
He's not my hero, he's my friend, but he is a champion to the British people.
If your friend, Tommy, all he has to do is sit here in this desk opposite me and face the same questions. But you know why he's ducking me? Because he knows if he repeats the bullshit he spews to you guys that you all seem to swallow. He's going back
I'm
to
challenging
prison.
you
He's
right
going
now.
back
You
to
cannot
prison.
answer to me. You cannot tell me how you know why you think it was a lie, because one judge said that the 5 people that he brought to court and said this Syrian boy did all these things.
Yeah.
And
There was no evidence.
The Fabian Society, the liberal Fabian Society judge says no. All of these witnesses are lying.
Well, you're
and
now
the Syrian
defaming the
refugees
judge.
telling
It
the
seems
truth.
a really extraordinary thing. Cenk, here's the problem with this.
Cenk, please, quickly, change the subject, or I might actually have to answer some of these questions. Don is saying the obvious thing here, man. Piers knows there's an issue with immigration. He knows that mass immigration leads to groups of people not assimilating into the culture, but he's gonna die on this hill because he had Tommy Robinson on his little morning show before Tommy was proven right about the grooming gangs, and Piers made a fool of himself, and he's complicit with trying to hide the grooming gang scandal by dismissing Tommy Robinson's point as Islamophobia. This is what this whole thing is about.
I have repeatedly said that where I agree with Tommy Robinson has been on his relentless campaigning against the grooming rape gangs in the north of England.
That's all he cares about.
Hang on, no,
That's
it's not all. It's
100%
not
of
all
Tommy
he
Robinson.
It's not. If only it was all he cares about, but it's not. Tommy Robinson has been right to focus on the cover-ups, which were scandalous and outrageous, and I completely agree with him. As I would say to his face, as I've told him on social media.
You covered it up. You know why? Because you would rather let little girls get than be known as racist. All you care about is your status.
Why would you say such a ridiculous
and
thing?
racist is the worst thing you can be, so you allow girls to get.
Why would you say such a stupid
your
thing?
status. It's demonic is what it is.
In any case, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.